This is Super Yacht News with Usmanov.
Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 95 of Super Yacht News. Okay, so the first news story now is about motor yacht Amadea. You all know Amadea by now if you've seen any of my videos. Amadea was the 106 meter or 350 feet yacht that was seized by the US government in Fiji. The vessel was crewed by a crew selected by the US authorities, and they boarded that vessel in Fiji, and they've sold that vessel to San Diego via Hawaii. The vessel arrived on the 27th of June. I put out a video 8 hours before the vessel was due to arrive, hence me only making this video now about the arrival. The vessel sailed like 5,000 nautical miles to get to San Diego. It was just under 5,000 nautical miles. And the vessel actually arrived in a smokescreen. It was quite foggy early on. The footage you're looking at right now, by the way, is from the San Diego webcam. This is actually a YouTube channel as well. I'll put a link to the channel. You can watch the whole thing. It's about 20 minutes long, the video, and they've got different angles of the whole way up of the channel to where it docked. I'm told that it's docked at the National City Marine Terminal, which is immediately south of the adjacent naval station. So it seems like a place that the amount of pictures that I've had sent to me and videos from you guys has been amazing. Some of the footage you see on screen now, I'll label the people of the videos and stills that I've used. There was just so many of them. I just picked out some of the best ones, and then I've run with them. There were so many I couldn't possibly put them all into the channel. Now, couple of interesting facts about Amadea. Despite it being 106 meters long or 347 feet, it's ranked only 63rd in the list of the largest or the longest yachts in the world. I'm pretty certain there's going to be legal challenges to this seizure, and that's going to go to the courts in the US. I'm sure the owners, Mill Marine Investments, who they reported the vessel is registered to them, I'm sure they will be employing lawyers in the US to fight this seizure. So that could go on for years. So as far as I know, the vessel's going to sit in San Diego until they know more. Obviously, as soon as I find out more, I will update you. Again, I just want to say thanks to everyone who sent me photos. I'm sorry if I didn't use your photos, but there were so many of them. It was incredible. But I appreciate everybody who went to the trouble of doing that. All right, so we'll move on to the next story. And this is an interesting one, and this could have ramifications for the whole of all of the sanctions in the EU. Now, this is Alicia Usmanov, who is the owner of motor yacht Dilbar, the largest yacht in the world by volume. He has actually put in a legal challenge against the sanctions that were applied to him by the EU when all of this first started around late February, I think it was. He was sanctioned by the EU, and soon followed UK and US also sanctioned him as well. Now, he was once described as one of Putin's favorite oligarchs, Mr. Usmanov. So Mr. Usmanov has filed a legal claim against the sanctions that were placed against him, which involved an asset freeze and a travel ban, an EU travel ban. And this resulted in his vessel being seized. Before his vessel was actually arrested, just that the fact that he was placed under sanctions meant that the entire crew of the vessel, which was approximately 150 crew members, including the captain who'd worked there for 14 years, they were all made redundant because they couldn't pay them. And, he's not allowed to pay money because he had an asset freeze, but also he wasn't allowed to pay. And the companies that manage the crew and stuff wouldn't have been allowed to accept the money, even if he could have sent it in rubles or something. So Usmanov, along with his two sisters who were also sanctioned, they all filed separate legal appeals against the sanctions in an attempt to overturn the sanctions that prevent him from using Dilbar. Well, technically, the yacht belongs to his sister. So it turns out Even though the yacht is in the standard shell company plus owned by another company in another country, it goes back to Cyprus, I believe. But it was also, when they got through all of the layers, it was registered to his sister. Obviously, she's under sanctions as well because she's connected to him. He's also transferred considerable assets to his sisters, and one of his sisters has her name on 27 Swiss bank accounts, which have been traced back to Usmanov, Alicia Usmanov, the owner of Dilbar. Technically not the owner, but the 27 bank accounts that are in her name can be traced back to him. And like I said, they've all filed legal appeals against this. Now, if that appeal was to be successful for him, then that would open the floodgates, wouldn't it? So every single person who's had sanctions against him, and I think there are many Russians who've been sanctioned. I only concentrate on the ones that own superyachts for obvious reasons. But there would open the floodgates for legal appeals if his was to be successful. According to sources, this decision should come down very soon, in the next week or so. So it'll be interesting to see. I doubt it will be successful, just because he's going to the European court to argue against sanctions placed on him by the European Union. But if it does, then it will be very interesting indeed, won't it? So anyway, stay tuned, stay subscribed for updates on that story. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Just one thing I wanted to say is episode 95 I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I've never mentioned that before. The reason why I do that is I always number my episodes. I've done it since the beginning, and I always refer to them within the team to episode numbers. And I just thought, well, it would be so easy to implement that into the channel, and then I can refer back, when I do refer back to previous episodes, I can just say, if you watch episode 93, you can see more about it. I'm almost at 100 episodes of Super Yacht News, which is kind of, I know it's an arbitrary number, but it's exciting for me because it's incredible that we've done so many of these episodes now. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, as always. If you have any information on the stories we've covered or any other stories, please get in touch. I'm still trying to get in touch with some of the crew of Eleonora, the sailing yacht that was sunk in Tarragona Marina. If you are one of those crew members, ex-crew member, current crew member, please get in touch with me also. That would be great. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.